Hey guys, what's up? I'm Jeremy from Wildtech Designs, and today I want to talk to you guys about installing Fox shocks on the back of your Chevy Express van. So on the back of the Chevy Express van, you're going to need a 13mm in order to take the bolts out of your factory shocks. Now we've already taken the factory shocks out of this one, and I'll do like a little comparison. All right, so these are the factory shocks that we took out of there. Giant, beautiful, awesome shocks that you know that you hated the ride. And then this is the bar pin in the top of it. So this doesn't have the slot, but you can see the holes are slotted to give you that same kind of little bit of room in there. And if we come and look at this, and here, let me switch the tape measure around so that you guys at home can read it. You can see right there, let me get that on there, we're 2 3/4 center to center, and that's the factory shock that's in there. And then this is the shock that we're going to be putting in, and that is also the 2 3/4. So let me show you guys this. And it does seem a lot deceiving because the bar pin on this overall is smaller looking, but you can see we're actually like we're like 2 5/8. So it is a little bit different. The shock will still catch the end of that, no problem. You won't have any issues with it because that bolt does have the big washer on there in order to keep that shock in place. So now that we've showed you the two shocks side by side, it's time to go install them. It's fairly simple to install. It's a little bit deceiving because you'll see one of these are slotted. So always when you're installing these, what we'll do is we'll do the one hole first, which allows us to kind of move the shock around a little bit up at the top, and then once we get that in, we can go ahead and put the second shock in. Once the second bolt in, I'm sorry, and once we have both of those in, then we'll go ahead and attach the bolt at the bottom. Typically on the bottom, you're going to need a 21mm to get both of those off. But let's go ahead. I got my 13mm, and I have it on a long extension on an impact to make it a little bit easier in order to get up in there. So let's go ahead and take that. We don't need that right now. And where these are going to go, actually let me show you that. I'm going to grab a tape measure real quick and actually show you one step further. All right, so if we get up in here, you're going to see that the stock hole from hole to hole is 2 3/4 inch. And that's in the factory shock mount. This is on the driver's side. You can see the gas tank right here. So you have 2 3/4 from center to center of your bolt hole. And then we're gonna grab this shock again, and we're gonna look at this the same way. And you can see that right there, we are 2 3/4 inch. So that is correct. So if you're just wanting to go through the steps to make sure that everything is correct before you get crazy and start putting it all together. So now I'm going to go ahead and take this. So you can see I'm just barely getting that started. Now I can bring this over to the other side, and now I can put that second bolt in, and I'm just barely having them both snug. I can keep them both in the gun. So now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to push the shock all the way up. Now you can see on that second shock, man, I'm just losing everything today. I've already lost my mind. But you can see on there now that this will move around just a little bit. So now I'm going to push it all the way over into the slot, and I'm going to go ahead and tighten that up all the way. Just can't win. It's not my day, I guess, you know? So now that I have that in there, you can see I can move the bar pin. So depending on if it's going on the driver or passenger side, that's not a problem. I can easily move that and manipulate it. Now I have my lower shock bolt here now at the bottom. So I'm going to swing that over, and you can see I've positioned a jack stand. I have this thing on a lift right now, which is going to make this a lot easier. Otherwise, you can use a floor jack to raise and lower it to center that up. So now I'm going to stick my bolt in there. Go ahead, run that tight. Grab my 2 wrenches right here. And I know we've talked about this before, but this is an awesome set of gear wrenches. Not product. I just like them. Don't get paid to use them. Nothing. I wish, you know, maybe one day. But great set of wrenches right there with the flex head on there. And like I said, all of this stuff, if you ever want to know some of the tools that we're using, there's a link below with our Amazon account, and you can go there and buy it on Amazon. So it's just a lot of the tools that we use. So there it is. You can see we have our Fox 2.0 shocks installed on the back of this Chevy Express van. Something you can do in not very much time. I swear it takes longer to, you know, jack the thing up and get it up in a position where it's easy to do. I hope this helps you guys if you're installing either like the front lift kit or the rear lift kit. In the rear of this, we've done a custom spring in there. But if you're doing blocks and U-bolts, I'll make sure to do a video on that. How to install blocks and U-bolts on your vehicle. And when I do, I'll throw up a card right there so you can check that out. So once again, quick little fun in the shop here with Jeremy from WeldTech Designs. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.